as I'm sure you're aware, because anything that is in this genre that's trying to get messages out, because that's what they do. They use us to get messages out to everyone there so that everyone understands that there's always hope, always hope. All right, that there's light at the end of the tunnel, for want of a better word. So thank you, Darius.
I love that. And I do believe there's light at the end of the tunnel because I believe we come from and are part of divine source. So we should always be able to go back to our origin state. You know, like you cannot take a drop of water out of the ocean and somehow remove the fact that it was originally a drop of water in the ocean, right? Its divine state is inherent in the drop of water. And if we all can remember this, and we know we can get back to that no matter how polluted that water may seem. Now, I got to ask you, Virginia, what is the range of things that you've seen in people's energy fields around their body, really in this physical temple, this energetic temple that we're going to be talking about today? What are some of the things you've seen that maybe we don't want there?
Do you really want me to talk?
Yes, I want to know the landscape of things that can show up because we're going to work through some.
One of the most important things, Darius, are our thought forms. Yes. As we think, so we become, we create. And your thought forms don't fly out onto some cloud. They actually accumulate in your auric field. And they become these big dark spots in your auric field. And that's our own thinking that brings it about. If people could only understand that there's so much more to you because we're creating all the time. We are creators, aren't we? And you've heard the saying,
Yes.
you create your own reality. So what we're thinking today, we're creating for our tomorrow. But we're not understanding that because we're going through the throes of thoughts, feelings, and emotions and allowing them to get the better of our consciousness because we're not in a conscious state. We're in a non-conscious state. Does that make sense to you, Darius?
It does. And I want to add a wrinkle as I'm always expanding and learning. I've actually heard that our thought forms, the ones that we repeat over and over and over and over again, can actually form almost like an entity. And I don't mean like a spirit, but I mean like its own energetic sort of thing, right?
Yes.
That lingers around us.
In
Uh,
your aura,
in your aura, it
Yeah,
becomes like its own entity, like its
it
own
does.
thing. Uh, Tell me about that. And is anybody feel like the negative thought forms or the negative self-talk, maybe that you've heard since you were a kid or different times in your life, like it is kind of like just like there, it's like a thing, and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. You want it out. But Virginia, tell me about that.
So the thing is, when as we are, like attracts like, this is the law of attraction. So the more we think negatively, and it's really sad because a lot of people, it's their modus operandi. They have no other way of think because they're in such it's like they've got this cloud over them, hanging over them all the time. And that's
Mm,
because of and then their thought forms. If people are in depression, if they're in having anxiety about paying their bills, any of those kinds of things, this is all stress related as well. So we're thinking lack, right? When you can't pay your bills or when you're having issues and you're worrying about paying your bills, you have anxiety. So all of that is pulling in these negative thought forms into your field. And as a consequence, as a consequence, we are pulling negative entities to us. And a lot of people have so much in the way of negative thoughts. When I clear it out, it's really quite extraordinary. Should I clear some? Should I clear?
I want to get to that. We're going to do some. I want to get to some more of the what you're seeing. So negative thoughts is one. And yes, we are going to grab some one-on-ones, but before that, I want for people new to learn a little bit more about what you've seen. So you've seen thought forms. What else have you seen?
I see a lot of ugh, heavy
Heavy,
metals.
heavy metals. Okay.
Yeah, so this is what I'm picking up. When you see my reacting like that, you know that I'm
Yeah,
spot
we got
on.
to explain.
I'm
Yeah.
right on the mark. I'm right on the mark. So heavy metals, which there are 5 pathogens in our bodies, basically, that the immune system is always fighting off. One is viruses, one is bacteria, one is mold. I get there's mold in the bodies in here in this platform there, and the others heavy metals. Oh, there's a lot of heavy metals, and then parasites as well. So these are the things that we see in the body. Excuse me. As well as blockages, energy blockages, Darius, and we're talking energy blockages not only within the physicality but also in the etheric.
Okay.
I see blockages in chakras. So as I'm saying these words, I'm feeding into it. It's feeding into me. It's getting stronger and stronger for all those things that I'm talking about. And then we're talking about entities. Oh, shoot. Entities and also implants as well.
Okay, what is an implant? Because some people think of it like as a physical thing, but it could also be energetic as well.
Yeah,
etheric. Okay, etheric. What does etheric mean to you, Virginia? What does that term mean?
Etheric means that it's not physical,
okay,
but it's in the energy field. So say, for instance, someone has had, sorry, my throat is really, the energy's getting, that's why I cough, because the energy is so dense. So when somebody might have a dagger in their back that they've been killed with in a different life, and that's showing. So that's one of that can be an implant. And also we have implants that can come from extraterrestrials. And I'm sorry, again.
We're gonna talk about something light and happy. We want you to be okay, Virginia. I know as you're doing this, fine. Spirit is moving.
Yeah, I'm fine, but it's the way that they work with me. So a lot of things like sword wounds, all kinds of things that we've been through. It was a really interesting episode I had once, Darius, and somebody couldn't look. I don't know whether I've mentioned this before. Someone couldn't look at themselves in the mirror. And when you've got a sink and you look in the mirror, they couldn't look in the mirror.
Right.
And we did some energy work, and it turned out that this person had been, they were in the throes of washing their faces. We're going back into medieval times. Someone came from behind them and slit their throat. And
in another life when they were
in another life,
yes, looking in the mirror. So
these are the things that can still be in the etheric. Yeah.
Wow.
And after that, no more. They were fine about looking in the mirror.
They were okay.
What happens is, Darius, these things come up to be noticed, to be known, and to be cleared. And that's really important.
So for people here, and we are going to do some clearing, I promise you guys, I'm not gonna like keep you from that. I want to lay the groundwork, because we have a lot of people in the calls that don't understand some of this, and then they'll write and I'll ask a bunch of questions. So what would be a sign that something it's just beyond like a thought, beyond like a negative mood or bad luck or just a bad feeling, but something is kind of like an implant or something from another life that literally is creating this energetic signaling that's like constantly in your field, and it probably doesn't feel natural. It probably doesn't feel good. It may even show up as a pain. What are some signs that something is actually that and not just thinking negative or,
It's a very difficult one because majority of people are not conscious about these things, Darius. They just feel the pain. They feel off. They feel, and one of the ones that you can tell by is if it's a recurring pattern.
A recurring pattern. Yes.
Yeah, you keep feeling the same way. You keep thinking the same way. You keep seeing all kinds of things. When there's a recurring pattern, that's usually spot on. All right. And sorry. So as I said, the majority of people don't understand that until they realize, hello, didn't this just happen to me 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago?
Right.
And then they become conscious of it. Yeah. It's basically recurring patterns.
Okay. What made you decide this time at UWealth, this time on Earth as well, to look at the physical temple, to look at this body? What are you seeing with the bodies? What's going on with humanity and the collective bodies? I mean, I had a interview yesterday with Lynn. We talked about how, diabetes is like flying through the roof. We talk all about some of the health scares flying through the roof, some of the cancers flying through the roof, some of the breakdowns, lots of things accelerating lifespan in the US. I say this all the time, but the last 3 years, lifespan is actually shortened in the United States of America, which is crazy in a Western developed, most developed country, right? Whatever is happening, it's not working for humanity in the way it used to. So what do you see going on?
From my perspective,
Mhm.
Darius,
Don't hold anything back,
unfortunately,
Virginia. Tell us what's going on.
well, Darius, they're
We
even
can
now
handle it.
starting, yeah, they're even now starting to understand that depression,
Mhm.
psychiatric issues, um, mental health issues are all going back to the gut.
Mm.
It's all going back to food. Okay. So think about this. Your food in America and almost everywhere, because it's been transposed to all the other countries around the world.
Yep.
We think McDonald's and KFC is the best thing since sliced bread. That's how, it was exported. And we now know that all that stuff has been absolutely devastating your population, yes, and
Yes.
the population all around the world. Those people, the native peoples who still eat their own kinds of foods and still grow their foods, their health is fine. But this is what's happening. So it's not it's not magic. It's just pure what we put into our mouths is what is happening to our bodies. Does that make sense to you, Darius?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And at the same time, I mean, it sounds like there's also things we put into our bodies that we've been told to put in. You say through the food, but there's also drugs, things in the air. There's a lot going on as in terms of toxins as well from like the pharmacological standpoint. I'm not against medicine, but
No.
where does the line draw? Where's the line drawn with consent and also energetic consent, right?
Absolutely, Darius. That's why there's those MP3s for alchemizing food, water,
Mm,
medicals, yeah, liquids, medicals in this because um, we really need to take responsibility because it's the food that's killing us and the medicals, the pharmaceutical stuff as well. That's not very very good for humanity. It's been devastating. We all know because we've been reading about it. It's all over the social media. We know what's happening,
yeah.
and yeah, it's really sad. But the majority of stuff they now are understanding is coming from the gut. That's where our illnesses are happening from. So we need to be much more conscious of what. And the other thing is, Darius, they tell us to eat fruit and vegetables. Fine, right? This is like a green diet ish. But we also know that we need protein and we need fats and we need carbohydrates in certain amounts. Now, all the fruit in the world is all very well, but it doesn't agree with everybody. So
Correct.
bananas might be good for you, but it doesn't not good for me. So we have to be discerning about what we're eating. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time, if our physical temple is so chock full of different distortions, implants, and even unprocessed emotions, it's
Oh
hard to
yeah.
even know what feels good or what is ours, what is our sovereign essence and what is not. Talk to me a little bit of it. We're going to grab some callers here in a moment, so raise your hand, and then we'll do a little bit of clearing so people can feel a feeling of what this feels like to let go of bits and bits and bits and start to open the door. There's more work to do, but we're going to start the process today. Tell me about the physical temple. Like, what is our physical temple? What is our sovereignness in that temple? And why is that important maybe to be aware of that? Like, not everything is yours, not everything is love. I love when people are like, oh, well, love is everything. Well,
Mm.
not really. Not always. It can be
Absolutely.
a bypass trap to accepting things that could really harm you as well if you just let everything in.
Indeed. So, we have to, this is why we have to, there are so many layers to our physicality, and to our energy bodies. We've got so many energy bodies that are playing in this field. This is
Hmm.
just the physical part of who we are. There's all these other things. There's the hara line. There's all the energy bodies. There's all the chakras. There's all the minor chakras. There's all the meridians. Everything is playing out. There's the microbiome. There's the digestive enzymes. All of these things are playing out in our field, and we're so much more complicated than we know. And so, therefore, the comprehension of who we are as humans, it's a miracle. Our bodies are a miracle, yes, and our
Yes.
bodies hold because our body is a miracle. We hold the divineness of who we are. This is why it's a temple for us all. That's why we should be much more appreciative of what we're taking in to the body, because everyone here that's listening to this will remember who you are.
Yes.
Remember why you came.
Mm.
You came for a reason. You came for a purpose. And you don't have to be a Darius, or you don't all have to be a Virginia or whatever. Just be who you are. But using the light and the love and the compassion and harmony and peace as you go through your day. And I know it's not easy because we're humans. And we, we can't, unless you're at the stage where you can really hold the harmony, it's really difficult to do it. But therein lies your mastery. That's why you came. All of us came for a reason, Darius,
Yes.
as you know. And it was really interesting because I was talking to someone who's really, really very special and very spiritual yesterday, and she said, I got a real kick up the bum because she said I was told to write a book, and she said, no, I haven't, and they told me that if I don't get that book written, that they're going to take it and give it to somebody else. This is spirit talking about her guides. They're going to take it and give it to somebody else because it means I'm not doing what I came for.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Well, you know the story of Michael Jackson and Prince, right?
no.
Oh, and Prince once told his producer he woke up in the middle of like 2:30 in the morning and he called his producer and he said, "We got to get in the studio right now because I got an idea for a song." And I can't remember which one it was, like Purple Rain or whatever. I think it was Purple Rain. And he said, "We got to do it right now." The producer's like, "Are you crazy? It's 2:30 in the morning. Why would we have to do it right now? Let's just wait in the morning." He goes, "You don't understand. If we don't start on it now, it's going to go to someone else. It's going to go to Michael Jackson. I can feel it."
Yeah.
And he was a very enlightened being. If you watch some of Prince's interviews, he talked about chemtrails, he talked about vaccinations, he talked about things in the inner city where they were trying to dumb down and put vibration to create violence. He was very, very awakened being. I'm not saying it was perfect or anything like that. I'm sure he had issues, but he knew how these things worked. And so yeah, that is an amazing story. That is true. I've got one final question, then I want to go to some callers. And for me, I want to know how ascension is maybe related to all of this stuff going on that we're feeling, that we're becoming more aware of, that we could be picking up more negativity or more aware of it, but then we're supposed to be ascending. We're supposed to be getting to where it's easier. Like, why is it maybe not getting easier for some people? Why are some people really going through kind of a shit time right now?
Well, put it this way, Darius. There is a huge this chaos that's going on in the world right now.
Mm,
But you know about the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's coming, but
it's
the
coming.
chaos has to happen first before the phoenix can rise from the ashes, before that wonderful state that we all wish to be in and be part of is coming.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, there's so much more to it. That is the simplest way that I can, from my perspective, that I can describe it. This chaos has to happen for the sun, for the light to come in its force, in all its glory. Yeah?
Yeah. So how do we not, and this is for everybody here, because I can feel your questions, guys. How do we not like really suffer or go down or really lose our health, our livelihood, our essence in this time? with all this up and down, like we don't, if I don't want to be one of the casualties, what do I do? How do I navigate this, Virginia?
In a nutshell, Darius, raise your vibration.
Mm.
When you raise your vibration,
Okay.
nothing touches you. You're in that place of bliss, basically.
Yeah.
And it's a really difficult place to get to, but we have to work on that ourselves. No one can come and push a button and say, okay, your vibration's raised now. We have to work at that ourselves. That's an internal job.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And that's why I'm excited to have you here, because that's one of the things that you're helping people do is raise their vibration by cleansing the physical temple of all this stuff that's not ours, that's illusion. So I do want to grab some callers, and we're going to do a little bit of a process here towards the end. Let's grab some callers and see what's going on with everybody here. Go ahead and raise your hand. I know this is a big treat. I know we announced it early today, and a lot of people have been on early, waiting and waiting and waiting. We've got another big announcement coming as well. I want to go to Maryanne. I'm going to pull some people maybe that I don't always see online. So I got Maryanne Perry. Mary, I'm going to send you an unmute request. You could also turn on your camera, but not necessary unless you want to. And Mary, are you there? Let's see.
There.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Looking great. Good to see you. Love your background. Love to see you.
I just got on and I was just listening and sorry.
Turn on volume. Yeah, no worries.
So my question would be with regards to my health and how I could make it better.
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing a bit of tummy problems and breathing, and I just had two siblings die of cancer, and my brother died earlier of cancer as well.
Oh, so sorry.
So it's kind of going through my family, and I'm kind of worried about that.
Yep.
Maryanne, first of all, I see that trauma that you've had, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And I also am connecting into your anxiety. There's anxiety attached here. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And I'm also looking at, sorry, this is the energy. So I'm also looking at your vagus nerve, which is way up. Now, take into consideration, the vagus nerve connects to the digestive system, right? Which will be an issue with your tummy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you, Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone that has any problems with digestion, that's usually one of the biggest things is the anxiety. So I'm just gonna tweak your vagus nerve, and this will be for everyone as well. Oh, shush. Oh,
my nephew died too from using drugs.
You may feel more at peace right now, Maryanne, more calm. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
No, you tell me, darling, yes or no? Because, I could just be talking through a hole in my head, which I am. But yeah. But it's how it feels on your end.
I could feel my eyes burning and something at my heart level rising, and I'm
just going to clear your digestive, the microbiome. And again, this for everyone else, please just let us know how you feel after I finish doing this for Maryanne.
Yes, a few people
whoever.
were asking if this would affect them
It's
as
for
well.
everyone. It's for everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you need it, you're gonna you're gonna
Whether you
feel
want it or not, it's coming your way.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. That's if you want it. So,
Right.
right. So your digestive system is feeling so much more at peace, Maryanne. Okay. Let us know how you go later on. Give us just put something in the chat to see how that feels for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Thank you
for
so much.
Maryanne, Virginia, and this situation affecting her family, is there something that I don't know how to say this, but is there something familial that's picking up on the same type of outcome that you're seeing? Is it a bloodline thing? You know, I don't want to, I don't really know. I'm just wondering anything as to why family.
Ancestral, you mean?
Yeah.
Ancestral.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
Maryanne, did any
Good.
Maryanne? Yeah, no, I'm not getting that at all,
Good.
Maryanne. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's very good. Yeah.
But
So
it's
if you,
really sad, Darius, because cancer is really very prominent at the moment.
Mhm.
And we know why, one of the
We
reasons
know
why.
some of the reasons. Yep. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Because even friends of mine are getting cancer all over the place, and brain cancer as well, which is really quite sad.
Well,
Thank you, Maryanne.
thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Maryanne, did you have one last thing? Anything else to say?
Well, I was feeling something in my brain, kind of like a line. I'm just wondering because when I went to the hospital to see my nephew after he died, I touched him, and when I touched him, it felt like my brain was being cut in half, and it was so painful. I had to sit down and grab my head and stop that pain.
How's it feeling now?
Um, it's not hurting me, but I can sense the line through my brain.
Just allow it to settle down a bit, Maryanne. Okay. I've just cleared out your brain. Okay.
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 Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Maryanne, for bringing that up for people. I've never heard that before. Yeah.
You must remember, Darius, that energy, being what it is, it transforms one to the other easily and without any issues, especially if he was a drug addict.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, if he was a drug addict, that means that he would have been full of entities as well.
Yes. And the thing is, he had brain damage, and I'm thinking that that's what I was feeling in him.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maryanne.
Okay, so she didn't take that on. It sounds like she felt
No.
it, but we're okay. So she's clear. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is where. Thank you, Maryanne. I mean, there's so many lessons in this of keeping our energy clear, keeping our sovereignty, not taking anything on. She's absolutely doing this. So what I want to do, thank you, Maryanne. I'm going to go to another caller here, just chock rich of things happening at ULT Revolution. I want to go to Robbie. Robbie H. See if we can unmute you and see if we can help you today. Let's see, Robbie, are you there? How can we help you?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
Hi. I'm working on a protocol to heal my body because I have like 75 toxic metals in me, and I have major inflammation with ulcerative colitis. And so I'm working on those, but I have headaches all the time.
I'm so sorry.
Some days they're worse than others. And I don't know if it's the supplements I'm taking, or if it's something totally different, or maybe I have an entity or something that is always giving me a headache.
Okay, thank you, Robbie. Now, one thing you must do too, if you know how to do muscle testing, which is one of the which is one of the calls that we'll be doing. It's
Uh-huh.
your truth detector, your body's truth detector. And that, when you use that, if you're thinking to yourself, is it one of the supplements? This is a good way for you to be able to find out. Does that make
I
sense?
said no.
Yeah.
No.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, let me have a look at you for. So you have entities. You've got quite a lot of them in there, Robbie.
Okay.
Oh, shush. I'm just going to ask my team to clear every single person on this call and those that will be listening to the replay of all of the entities and send them to a place where they will not be of any harm to any other sentient beings. Oh. Please take note, everyone, of how you feel and how you feel after we've done this. All right. So, Robbie, did you feel anything when I did that, Donald?
Yes. My body was kind of shaking.
Yeah.
Sort of
And
like a twist.
Yeah. Well done, because you've picked up whether you had entities causing the headaches, because that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what they will do.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to give, because I got you. You definitely have a lot of heavy metals in there. What have you been told about that? How have they told you to clear it, Dawn?
It's basically taking a lot of supplements that are designed to absorb them and get them out of the body.
Okay. Let's just ask if we can clear those heavy metals. Oh, shush. Robbie, tell me if you felt anything after I just did what I did. Please,
I felt the need to blow out, like just let go. And then I have chills all through my body right now. So, and my headache's going away. So yeah, wonderful.
Wow.
Well done.
Wow.
Robbie, you do muscle testing, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you see. Ask the question.
Oh.
Do I have any heavy metals left in my body, please? Yes or no?
Okay. Do I have?
Get your yes,
No.
get your yes and yes, get your yes and your no done first. Say, show me my yes, show me my no, so you know which is right.
I said no. I don't have heavy metals.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my
Well
gosh.
done, Robbie.
Thank
Well
you,
done.
Robbie. Incredible.
The throbbing's completely stopped in my head. The throbbing's gone.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done,
Thank you.
Will.
Well done. Well done, Virginia. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. And this is the thing. We've got to keep our vibration high, right? We don't want to pick stuff up again, just to let everyone know. It's like we're clearing it out, but we got to keep the vibration high. We got to keep the path moving forward. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the live stream for those folks listening in on YouTube or Facebook. You're going to want to get the full session on our special page, uwealthrevolution.com/Virginia29. We're going to be doing a activation for the whole group, an activation. You're going to find it there. So everyone listening in, if you want to join our live Zoom calls, check the link in the description as well. We'll put